Welcome back to Factorio Seablock TSM, episode number 36. Yes, okay, so we're back out trying to build our city blocks. I've done a little bit of work while you guys were away, just to save a little bit of time. Let's just get into map mode so you can see. I have basically come all the way up here and round here. Largely. Now, I'll just show... I was originally going to extend out here to at least 2 levels, maybe even 3, but I'll just show you what happened to those plans, because I think you'll find it amusing and relevant. Let's put it that way. Amusing and relevant. So we got to about this point, and we've got a giant worm up there who has a range of 42. Our sniper turrets have a range of 30, so we're outranged by that one. We also have a behemoth worm here with a range of 48, so that's even more. And look, he's already awake. I think this one wakes up when we get... Yeah, there you go. He wakes up as well. And if I get any closer, he's going to start spitting at me. So I'm not fond of that. That basically puts an end to our attempt to get through there. Anything up to large worms we have been fine with, but when they get bigger than that and they're outranging us, it's a problem. I need a radar up here. There's another giant worm basically right there, which is why this suddenly ends. So we can't do that segment. We can finish off these two. And I'm intending to basically come out here if I can, and down here. I might even come all the way down to here so that it's sort of even. I'm not going to try and fill across here. I think there's a problem anyway. What do we have here? Giant worm. Yeah, we can't get past that even if we wanted to. And in here, what have we got? We've got multiple giant worms. So yeah, we're not going to be able to deal with that. I did expect them to progress, well, to progress from small worms as you went out, but I didn't expect it to be quite as aggressive as this, so that's changing how many city blocks we're actually going to be able to deploy in the first instance, but I'm sure we can cope. And obviously there's like, these are just small worms, very easily killed with our capabilities with our sniper turrets. They're no threat whatsoever. We do get a little bit of threat from big worms. I think they can match our range, so it's kind of hard to just dispense with them easily. Mediums aren't too bad. The big ones are a slight challenge. Are there any there? Ah, yeah, there you go, big worms. And you notice with bobs, there's big fire worm, big electric worm, etc. They have slightly different stats and capabilities, so that's also something worth bearing in mind. But hopefully there's no giants around here so that we'll be able to do this. So what else have I done? Well, to be able to get into this position to do all of this, one of the things I did was I put in... This is an Ore Crusher Mark II, so it's a crafting speed of 2 versus a 1.5. And unfortunately, it's not actually getting fed as well as I would like. It looks like that's because the oxygen is banking up. The oxygen not being... Oh, the oxygen's being bled off constantly, but it's just not enough. It looks like we're going to need another flare stack for the oxygen. Fortunately not for the hydrogen, but we certainly do for the... Okay. That's one thing we're going to have to attend to. I also added in this guy. The sole purpose of this one is to simply put more sulfur into the system, and I created a mud processor. This was just building up in mud from this guy, so both of these are feeding mud in here, which is just a tiny, because it's about 25 mud per one, a tiny extra increase in our landfill supplies. But this sulfur is proving invaluable. I think we still basically have no sulfur, but it's all we've got. And this process does produce a net surplus. Well, this whole process, a net surplus as far as I can remember. On the Sulfur to sulfuric acid words, sulfuric acid process. So that's what we are relying on to build through all of this. I also want sulfur for, because they also work for explosives. If you notice down here, I've actually also built a rocket launcher which has a longer range than our sniper turrets. But again, the damage, the rockets that they use need explosives. The explosives are in one of these, I think. There they are. The explosives need sulfur again. So, I mean, the other products there are no problem whatsoever. And there's a more advanced one, is there? What that's used in. Interesting. So yeah, the explosives need sulfur. So when we have a acute shortage of sulfur, and yes, I turned off the global and I turned down the sound because yeah, this is basically going constantly. As soon as any sulfur is produced, it gets consumed. There we go. We're getting a little bit from our belt. It's just straight into the consumption. Slightly more for a moment. So that is the biggest problem, I think, with this process here. I think we need this process because it burns up all the extra geodes we get from using the flotation cells. But it's not working quite as well as I would like because it's severely starved of the sulfuric acid up here. We are getting a little bit. Maybe we've done enough now to get a little bit. But it's definitely a balancing act. I think there's a place for both of these processes. Oh, and I've upgraded a bunch of these ones as well. So if they get enough sulfuric acid to process, and this is all part of the net gain sulfuric acid, we get out sulfuric wastewater, which is all being converted to sulfur without any problem by this one machine. So that's that. The other thing is we are going to want to get a train because I've found out running around my big base takes quite a while. So I've started building some basic engines in here. One stack. I have a... Oh, yeah, that's right. I wanted to use some lubricant up at some point. So I made that 2 stacks. But yeah, 1 stack of these, which we now have. So I'm going to run back there. I may even throw out a few other things. But yeah, I want to get... I'd probably make this into a proper path. And yeah, we've got some worms down here to deal with at some point. But it's kind of funny watching them get up and get anti with us. Yeah, so I want to make a locomotive. Means we need 20 of these. We already have some. Let's make our locomotive and then return any that we haven't used. No, not those. Those. There's our locomotive. Now, the other thing that I think I'd like to do is basically come down to our supplies of rail, because they're down here. And I'm going to put a box. I guess we should probably only really make steel chests at this point. A box of things that I don't currently need for anything, really. Be all of these things. Certainly all of these things as well. So that I can fill up on rail. Ooh. Shortage. We're short steel. Yes, we're constantly short of steel plates. and go up to where we're making our main landfill, which was for a time doing 2 to 3 times as much landfill as before, but probably has slowed off quite a bit due to the severe shortages of... oh, that's right. I needed to make one of those, didn't I? Another flare stack. I do have one, because I've been pulling up just about every other flare stack we have to make it possible. Do this. Okay, can I put a flare stack in right there? So there's now 2 flare stacks on oxygen. Much better. That should enable some of these processes to work at full speed again. And these are all the version Mark IIs. At some point I replaced all of these, as well as quite a few of these other ones to Mark IIs. So that's like 50% longer than it used to be. Which is why it was kind of overwhelming this when oxygen was under control. We want this. Oh, that's not a lot, is it? That is a very disappointing number. Hopefully that gets a lot better. Let's get back to actually constructing something. Do I have any ammo? I have a tiny bit of ammo, and I have 2 turrets. I have actually lost a couple of turrets. Can I build any ammo? No, I'm missing absolutely everything because I took it all out. Everything I need for building ammo. Okay, let's just see if we can maybe make a little bit more ammo while we're here. We needed some steel. We needed more copper than that. We needed some iron. Let's see if there's some copper around here. There doesn't be very much. There's a bit of copper here. That will have to do. We can build 17. Let's build all of it. Because we have had to do a little bit of fighting with that. Now, I'm not quite of the opinion that we have enough spare, although it's not very much, I guess, to load up down here. I have some carbon in there. Let's grab some of that for our train. There's a bit of work working out exactly which way the line is going to go, but where did that go? Did it go? No, it didn't go in there. Into trash. That's not what I wanted. Go in there. Okay, so this is just a normal train. And you can see inside these, there's some various items that have not been dealt with yet. But we can certainly use our model to... Now this isn't quite right on the basis that we're not going to have both directions, because this is either going that way or it's going that way. If it's going that way, then this will only go that way. If it's going this way, then this one will be right. So that's something I need to try and sort out. But for now, let's just come up here. Okay, for now, I have a situation where this part will probably never become a city block, but it does need the train to be able to join onto here. This one actually is probably incorrect. Therefore, I need that. Oh yeah, the other thing that you're probably noticing that I didn't even mention is I created and am currently using, I've removed temporarily the night vision, and I've got a personal robo port Mark 1, which is pretty useless 30 by 30 area, robot limit 10. Not to mention that it drains the resources quite a lot as well, but beggars can't be choosers, right? This is all we've got, so it's what we're using. And I've lost a few of these robots in the process of, you know, the general stuff. The general stuff that goes on. Numbers dropping fairly fast. I guess what I want to do is get up here so I can complete this part. Then potentially with an incorrectly placed corner, but we'll deal with the corners in the future. And we're a little bit closer to where we want to be. Why don't I just sort of help these idiots out a little bit. That. Not yet anyway. Hopefully we're starting to get more of a surplus of rail so that this whole process can proceed a little bit more easily. This is where I need them to do some building for me. Might even be worth getting out at this point and yeah, this bug doesn't worry me right now. Which means it doesn't fire. This bit here doesn't matter. I obviously had to do a little bit of fighting here. At least the alien artifacts don't go away. And I want you guys to fill in this area here for me. Maybe, as before, you need a little bit of help to get it done. We're almost done once again. Okay, good. Looks like they're kind of finished. Let's jump back on board our train. Okay. Can probably do a better job of this than these silly bots. That completes that. And now, what else was important here? I think what was important for me was this direction out here and putting down another stamp. I'm actually surprised we haven't had to fight anything yet. I'm not going to that one because it's a giant. I want to get over here and basically slap down another one and start moving down this way. So that would tend to suggest that what we need is this bit to be completed. Oops. I have overdone that. Go on, Slowbos, what are you doing? 290 doesn't appear to be a hell of a lot of resource. We've almost completed energy shield equipment. That might give me enough. We just have a quick look at that tech. How big is this guy? It is a 2x2. So I could put one on only. How many hit points does it give? It is 75, which is not a lot. No. Don't do that stuff. Come on. That's better. Do the rail. That's actually useful. slow bots. Oh, God. And wasting resources up there. Fine. I do this. No, you're going to run up there. What are they even doing? This looks complete. Come on, guys. 275. That's not much. Maybe I'll tell them to stop. Yeah, I think I may have overweighted that piece just slightly, but it doesn't really matter. Reason being, I mean, obviously this is not going to be an empty ocean when we're done. We're not just bordering empty oceans of fish or something. That's not the plan. The plan is to fill them up as much as we need for our designed interior. This is 150. I guess that explains why it's taking us so long, since our acute material shortage certainly wouldn't be helping. Come on, just go to sleep. Thank you. Let's go. Our next issue is going to rear its ugly head very soon. Can I get this one down? It doesn't appear so. Let's just back up a moment. What we can do is go up here, and then, whoops, go up here. Oh, that's not helping. I need to go down the other way slightly. Or we go to map mode, and then if you zoom in on map mode, you can sometimes place these things. No. Be able to, so I need to a little bit down here. Okay, we can do that. Be sufficient to get the outline in. And now we just need to see how close we need to get to bring this into range. Basically to there. Okay. Should be easy enough. I might just put one here to get it out of the way. Put the other one there. And this is how easily we can kill the small worms. Sorry, I couldn't pick something that was a more interesting target for you. Because there's actually, let's get the bullets out of that one first. Single shots, basically. They're pretty powerful, the sniper turrets. Do we have much more along here that can get in our way? Unknown. And we're out of stuff. And this is another corner that we are going to need to have filled. So, not that one, this one. Just so that we can, I guess we may as well use up the track that we've got on established built areas. And again, I'm not sure which direction we're actually going to want, but maybe for my initial convenience, it's not correct. We probably will want that there, but it's just whether the rail goes there or not that is not 100% clear yet. So it's certainly my hope now that the landfill has built up a little bit more aggressively. Oh. Nice how it can literally turn on a dime. Ooh. That's where we want to go. This is a little bit faster than how we were traveling before. Smack. And we could probably do with some lights along this path as well. Perhaps. Probably do with some lights in this area. How are you going? Have some. It's not really the most important thing on my list at the moment. Most important thing is that landfill. This looks a little bit better. 700. Have almost as much as we had before, but still not super great. Up there. I might run backwards along this one and grab whatever landfill has accumulated up there. Another 45. It's still not particularly good. I just want to check before we resume. Where is Sniper Turrets 2? Is that something that needs blue science? What's that? Laser turret. We can make laser turrets, but they don't have the range. What's that? Flamethrower. So there is a little bit of this stuff that we can do. Energy weapons damage. Plasma turrets. Ooh, I don't know too much about the plasma turrets. Weapon shooting speed. I can increase the damage still. I think that gives me a rifle, which would be pretty useful. What does it give me? Poison capsules. That might be pretty good for clearing some of these worms. Oh, this needs blue though. Yeah. That's yeah. We'll not say too much more about that one. Are there any more turrets? Where's the next level of sniper? Here we go. Turrets 4, laser turrets. Not sniper turrets. It's sniper turrets 2 that we're looking for. Oh, it's got to be in a similar line as the other turrets, doesn't it? Turrets 3. Turrets 2. Turrets. Sniper turrets 1. Sniper turrets 2. There you go, it needs blue. It will be early on our list. Actually, while I had that open, damn it, I've lost it again. While I had that open, I should have probably... Turrets, there it is, turrets. Sniper turrets 1. I should see what its range is. Sniper turrets 2. 35. It's still way short of the big dangerous ones. 3 is 40. That's a little bit closer. So I'm not sure that sniper turrets are really the answer beyond what we're doing right now. Oh, how much more landfill do we have now? What? Nothing. 50. I guess it's worth grabbing. Yeah. We're going to very shortly come to the point where it's just, we've got to accept where we're at, and our next enhancement is to actually start filling these guys out. But being 120 by 120, 12 fours are 144. 2 noughts on the end. That's like 14,000 landfill to fill one. My math is right. So ideally, we want this corner and we want to head down here. Which would do this. That gives us the necessary rail to turn on. I'm basically saying I don't trust my robots to do just what I want rather than what they want. And it's kind of nice that we've joined down here. What are these guys? I think you guys are just small, so you're nothing. You're just a small. So you're also nothing. And as before, we're going to have to do this so that we can place the next one. Now, if you remember, somewhere along here, it might be a little bit further down, actually. Damn it. Damn it, there's no undo on these. We have down... actually, I think it's down one further. So let's... we need to keep going a little bit further. That is really starting to get on my nerves. Ah, that is a problem. We actually have already built out so far that this is not going to go out far enough. In that case... but that's okay. Ooh, you're waking up. We have range. Yes. Oh, look at that. Still not particularly difficult. So obviously this one's not going to work. We're going to have to go over one further, which may put us into contact with some less desirable characters. But as we're completely out of material... actually, we should be at least running rail up here, shouldn't we? As we're completely out of material... ooh! Did you see that? We have now completed shields. So we could potentially have a slightly more in-their-face approach with the biters, perhaps. These ones are all medium and big. So potentially at this point, let's looking at them. That one's just a medium. Medium. Those are all small. I just want to show you, I guess, what goes on against these mediums. So maybe since we're basically doing the same thing, I'll just pause it and come back when we have some more supplies so that we can have a look at killing off some slightly more interesting biters. So we'll be back in a moment. And we're back. We didn't get that much supply, but we should be able to come into range of these, I suspect. They're already standing up to attention, so we've definitely got their interest. Well, okay, so this little guy wants to be the first one to get a taste of our... I guess it has to go about there. That one can just go here. Oh, so he actually caused a tiny bit of damage. Now, oh, there was still some acid there as well, of course. Do we get these guys in range here? I actually don't think so. Because the gun normally reacts if you do. Okay, in that case, bother. Okay, these guys are just noisy. They don't actually have the ability to cause us any grief. But on the other hand, these guys just up here... There we go, the one that was in range is no longer in range. And that's it. So we will have to rescue our ammo, do another... And as you can see, medium worms really aren't much threat either. What's back here? Big. Not sure if that's going to come into range. Doesn't look like it unless I go out of my way, which maybe I will, just to deal with these guys. Oh, and what do we have out here? We have big... Oh. Big actually has outranges my sniper and my missile launcher, so I have to be slightly careful. Are you enjoying doing that, buddy? Need to leave one behind. Oh, good. We can hit the big one, but only just. The others are not going to be a threat. And what do we have here? Big. Ah, yes. We can get them into range as well. I don't like how long their acid persists. It's making this job a little bit harder than it need to be. Can't reach that guy from there. We'll have to wait for this acid to go away and then throw a turret right down the end. And our health to come back. Can I eat... Oh, I threw out all my fish. Do any of these fish have health properties? No, it's probably something you have to build, and this would not surprise me. Shit. Okay. So, coming back to our original plan, we want to push out one more from here. At least these guys, they're all bigs. So we're going to have to do quite a lot of killing even just to take here. I don't know what we're going to face in this one. That could be something a little bit scary. We don't actually need to go right up there, though. It's more once we get to here, we want to come down this way. But you're getting the general idea. I don't really know if it's worth showing you too much more of this. I mean, we can fight another pack up here, I suppose, if it's... Does that bring us into range? It does, actually. That one, that is actually a big. Why can't it... Ah, some of these guys don't have the range to get back at us. That's good. That's very fortunate. Certainly makes it easier. Now, if only I could work out which ones do have the range to be nasty. Okay, obviously that one thinks it does. And history. What are these? Mediums. But they're not really a huge threat. Something over here can get to me, though, if I go there. Oh, that other one still out of range. What is it? It's just a medium. Oh, and we can shoot up to there as well. What are we facing up here? There is a big, but its range is only 26. There's a medium with a range of 30. So the mediums with 30 match our range, but some of those bigs, specialized bigs, are not matching our range. Right. Oh, that's it. That's as far as we can go anyway. Only just keeping this out of harm's way. Now there is a more powerful repair pack as well for this little slightly cheaty strategy, I suppose. All we're putting at risk is a single sniper turret. But yeah, that's going to have to do it for today. I will try and do what I can to get down here. The thing I was talking about earlier was there is, you know, the waste product from the science. It is all currently being accumulated here. Being accumulated in here. There's an awful lot of resources actually in there. So I want the trains to be able to get to there. Ideally following this network, but really, realistically, we only need the line that comes along here to come in. So we may not end up building all of this if it ends up being too dangerous. But I think we'll leave it there. And next time, when we rejoin, it will basically be to start working on this. This one will be making the mineral sludge that all the products need in fairly vast quantities, and then there'll be a train that just picks it up and starts delivering it to other tiles depending on who has the demand. That's generally the idea and why we have TSM. So yeah, I may even just have to leave the game just ticking over a little bit to build up, or use some of this material to further increase the rate at which it can build up, something like that, before next time. Anyway, see you next time, guys. Bye-bye for now.